All right, Dre and Stick the Figure want to know if you guys are going to be posting any Marble Hornets outtakes on your other YouTube account.
Quick answer, yes, probably, but not until Marble Hornets is finished. I don't think. We do have some pretty awesome outtakes uh, that are all. I don't know what. Oh, Joseph knocked on wood. I guess awesome isn't really a good word, but like was very funny at the time. There were with Marble Hornets, a lot of the entries, especially the more involved ones, like going to the house and everything, there were plenty of takes for all of those, and some of them were just outright failures, like falling, tripping over things in the dark, and getting our timing wrong and forgetting lines constantly.
I think some of the funnier moments actually weren't even caught on tape. Let's tell them the joke.
Okay, hey Joseph, knock knock.
Who's there?
My cat Jasmine.
My cat.
Ow!
Oh, during the entry where Alex is seen scribbling frantically on the paper.
I think it was 6 or 4.
No, it wasn't 6. I know 6.
It was 4, maybe. I don't really remember the entry numbers by heart.
Anyway,
but, yeah.
So we're sitting there, and obviously it's all quiet. And instead, I guess we could have just cut out the audio. Instead of doing that, we just had to keep on doing takes and hope that nothing made a noise. And Troy has a very nice cat. I like it, but it is loud.
Yeah.
And it was outside, and right as we started filming one, it just goes meow.
Like you could hear it clearly, and Joseph's like being all serious and writing on the paper, and I'm like, okay, Joseph, go. And he starts scribbling, and then you hear meow in the background. So, that obviously wouldn't have been a very good take to use.
There was also something we were doing with entry number 6, which is down in the basement when the operator comes across that door window. We were trying to do a head snap like we did in the entry number 1, and we did at least 30 takes. The latter half was with a head pop, and every single time it just looked like Night at the Roxbury head bob.
We actually started singing the song.
We did, but I made Troy delete all of those out of embarrassment.
I didn't delete anything.
Uh-oh.
Tim actually is the one that probably got the most really actually funny things going on. Any entry where it's just Tim, I think it was 19 or something.
The one in front of the window?
Yeah, the one in front of the window where Tim is just talking to Alex. A lot of that was completely improv. And
Tim has some fangs.
Tim is a really funny guy, and I really wish he were here to do this interview.
He's so much wittier than us.
Yeah. He would just like... while we were filming, he just like walked over to where our junk mail was laying and started shoving it in his lips and like had these giant lips going and just telling us that was his creative process. It's all very strange.
It's very surreal.
But you'll have to wait until Marble Hornets is over to see.
They're really funny.
Oh, trust us, they're funny. It's just that getting back to the question is, you watch Marble Hornets and you're affected by it in whatever way. And then you go over to like my personal YouTube channel, and it's just us goofing around in the same set, and you're just like, wow, this isn't that scary anymore because of that. So yeah, that's basically why we haven't posted any outtakes. But there are outtakes. I'm sure there will be outtakes later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We will never stop being inept.
Well, Guest Guy and Grim Joker want to know, how did you make your operator, and is there any way we could get one?
We can't tell you, but yes and no as to making your own.
This question was asked when we were doing our Q&A session thing, where people would send me questions and everything, and that question got asked a lot, mostly from people saying, hey, I want to do this for Halloween or something. And I'm actually kind of proud by the way, proud of the way it looks on the videos,
especially in the last entry.
Yeah, the last. They look really good. Not to toot our own horn.
They look fantastic.
We're really proud of it, and we don't really want to tell it. We don't want to, ruin the magic of it. Keep the mystery up. But
it's not us being jerks and wanting to keep the secret to ourselves. Eventually, we will tell how it's done. It's another one of those things. It's like, now that I know how it's done, it's not scary anymore.
Yeah. But I will say, I did say this before, we do not own a mannequin because they are expensive.
And again, we are poor.
We are poor. So no mannequin was used. And going back to what I was talking about earlier, people saying, hey, I want to make this into a Halloween costume or something. I absolutely would not recommend making a Halloween costume the way we did the operator.
It would be awful.
It would not look very good.
And not to mention, all I can imagine is 1,000 people going out and like getting arrested because they want to creep out their friends.
Yeah.
Going back to fans that are creeping you out.
No, it would not. Don't do that.
We wouldn't be scared. We would just be angry.
Yeah, we'd just be like, stop.
Dre wants to know if there's going to be any Marble Hornets merch, like stuff on Zazzle.
Probably not.
Yeah.
At this juncture, I don't foresee anything because, honestly, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean...
Draw a circle with an egg and sell that?
For like $30 a pop? Yes, I am. No. I mean...
Put Troy's face on a t-shirt. Team Jay, Team Alex.
I'd buy it.
Too. I would buy a shirt with your face on it.
I would buy a shirt with your face on it. But...
Best friends forever.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't really, at this particular point, it doesn't really lend itself to be, heavily merchandised or anything. And that's not really what it's about. I mean, we're not setting off to, this whole idea wasn't like, oh, sweet, maybe we can become YouTube partners and make $1 million.
We don't make money.
Yeah, despite what people may think, we're not rolling in dough or anything because of this. And that's not the whole point at all. We didn't set out to be like, hey, we're going to ride this, idea and make tons of money. So, in short, probably not.
So I take it that you've noticed all the other side stories and the blogs about the operator. Have you been following any, or do you have a favorite?
There's a new series out, and I'm okay with giving them a plug.
Yeah, sure.
Because the Everyman Hybrid, it seems like it's probably pretty cool. But we aren't affiliated with any side stories. It's just To the Arc and Marble Hornets. But I wish them well in all of their endeavors.
Yeah.
So, I do think it's interesting, but for some reason, I just can't get into them. They kind of not weird me out and like they're creepy, but weird me out in that it just kind of feels like I don't know, looking into a mirror, one of those like circus mirrors where everything is distorted. Because it's like, well, I've done this too, and now I'm reading how someone else would have done it. Not saying, they're trying to be the next Marble Hornets or anything like that, but, it is the related content.
Yeah.
So it just kind of feels off to me to follow them. So I don't. Troy, maybe a different matter.
The side story blogs and everything started popping up a lot when I would be, reading through the unfiction forums or something. I read a few of them. I did read some of this one called Just Another Fool. And the guy who made it actually contacted me asking, if I wanted to like collaborate with him in any way. But, I had to tell him, we have already written our thing out, good luck, but, we can't really be affiliated, in any good way.
Yeah.
Other than that, I do think Everyman Hybrid is pretty cool. And another blog I did read, it was called, what was it? It was about some girl, Rainbow Life, I think it was called. I did read through the entirety of that one, or up until, now. But basically, yeah, what Joseph said, it felt kind of weird, reading about stuff that came off of us. Not that, I'm against it or anything. It's just like, it feels kind of, I can't use the word Joseph said, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, it just feels like I'm like really into myself or something when I read stuff like that. I don't know. Masturbatory
isn't a curse word. You can say that.
Can say self-masturbatory?
That's redundant.
Okay.
Masturbatory.
It feels masturbatory. Can we say?
Can we keep on saying it forever and ever? But yeah, and best of wishes to all of them, and more content for all the fans. It's great. The more stuff that's out there to keep people interested, to keep them, entertained. That's great.
And it benefits us as well as them, because like people aren't going to forget about it then. Yeah. While we're over here, stumbling around trying to figure out what to do next.